We're here with Will Forte. He's joined us at the studio, TSTV, and he's promoting his new film, Nebraska, for Austin Film Festival. What was it like being in a adventure/drama movie when you're, your genre, you're used to comedy, I guess you'd say?
It was really different. It was intimidating going in because I am just not used to it. It's so much more realistic than anything I've ever done. So it was kind of scary going in, but everyone was really nice to me and made me feel comfortable.
So you like this genre too, rather than?
Oh yeah. Oh my God! I am such a big fan of Alexander Payne movies.
Yes.
So I remember the first time I saw Election, and I just loved it. Have you seen Election?
I have not seen that movie.
You gotta see that. You would love it. It's so great, and that takes place in Nebraska also. Because Alexander Payne, the director, is from Nebraska, so a lot of his movies are set there. I think Citizen Ruth was there, and About Schmidt was there, and then he took off and did Sideways in California and The Descendants in Hawaii, and so he's back to Nebraska. But I've just always loved his movies, so I never thought I'd get a chance to be a part of one though.
Yeah, and there actually was a lot of humor in the movie. It's not labeled as a comedy, but there actually was a lot in funny scenes in there. So
none of it comes from me. I'm a straight man.
There was a lot.
It was a fun change, even though in some comedies I've been in, people have not laughed. So I'm used to people not laughing at me.
Yeah.
But this was the first time it was planned for people not to laugh at me.
Very true, because it was serious.
Yeah.
But do you prefer the more subtle humor, or do you prefer the more overt humor, like in Saturday Night?
I love it all. I mean, it's fun to do different things, and I usually did a bunch of crazy stuff at SNL, but there were times we'd try to do slightly more subtle stuff. So it's I just love doing a bunch of different things.
And what drew you to this character?
I don't know. I mean, when I read the script for the first time, it's about this kind of weird family. The family just they bicker a lot with each other. I don't know. It's just a weird family dynamic. My family is. My folks are divorced, but we all get along pretty well. So my family's nothing like this family, but I did feel this weird connection to the character. Still, I don't know what it is. But I just didn't think I'd have any chance to get the part. So it was really exciting when I found out I did.
Oh, so what was the auditioning process like?
I put myself on tape. And I'm so much more comfortable with that because I'm not used to. I started as a writer before I went to SNL, so I just wasn't used to auditioning that much. So I get really nervous when I go into the room to audition. So it's so nice when you can just record yourself and send that audition in, because then you have much more control over how it is, and you don't get really nervous. So I put myself on tape, sent it in, didn't hear anything for 4.5 months. And I didn't think that I would get the part anyway. So sending it off, I just kind of forgot about it. And then after 4.5 months, I really, really forgot about it. Because, I just thought, oh, there's no way I'm getting this part. And then found out that he had liked the tape enough to call me in and do it in person with him, Alexander, and his casting agent, John Jackson. So I went in, read the scenes with him once, and we talked for about 10-15 minutes after that, and that was it. He was very positive about what I had done with the audition, but I still just thought, there's no way I'll get this part.
Why did you think you were going to get it?
I don't know. I'm not exactly a huge box office draw. I don't know.
But you did. So I'm proud.
I did. I found out a month later. It was the most exciting thing of all time.
Yeah.
Just so unexpected, and my mom was visiting at the time, so we just went nuts.
Celebration.
I kept it cool. Alexander called me from Omaha to give me the news, And then, I was playing it cool, like, oh, yeah, no, that's great. That's good. Thanks. Thanks very much. I'm excited. And then I went down and I was like screaming in the house. It was really fun.
And
nice to get to share that with my mom.
I was going to say, with your cast members like Bruce Dern and then June Squibb and also Bob Odenkirk, what was it like on set?
It was really great. I mean, there are some, Alexander's movies are all mixed with, it's like a little bit of everything. It's drama, comedy, everything, but it's very real. And so I think, sometimes you look at some of the things that are happening in the movie and you think, oh, that must not have been a fun day. But the people like June and Bob and Bruce were so fun and nice that, behind the scenes, everything was really fun and comfortable. And we always got along just really well. And yeah, it was a wonderful experience.
Did you guys resist making Breaking Bad jokes to Bob Odenkirk since he plays Saul?
I was always behind a little bit. I just finally caught up Sunday night.
Okay.
I wasn't caught up, so I had to do complete block out of all my friends who were Breaking Bad fans.
Oh, they were like spoiling it around you.
They never let anything out. So I went in completely not knowing a single thing about how it would end.
Okay.
And I had, in the final week, I watched the whole second half of the last season.
Yes, I'm not caught up yet.
Oh my God, it was so good. And then the final 3 episodes, my other buddy waited for me, and so we watched it together. It was so good.
That show's amazing.
It's my favorite show of all time. I've never seen The Wire. I hear The Wire is great. So, but of the ones I've seen, that's my favorite show.
And okay, what was your favorite part of the entire filming process? Like a memory that really stuck out to you?
Oh man, just everything. I got to be really close with Bruce because we spent so much time together. Bruce Dern, the guy who plays my dad, and it was wonderful. I mean, I'll always remember there's this one scene where we're in a bar and somebody has found it all is about this sweepstakes letter.
Yes.
He thinks he's won $1 million. Whether he does or not, we don't know until the very end. But somebody has his letter and retrieves his letter, and he goes up to get the letter back. And there's just something about the way he walked up to get it, and it was just. I'll always remember that. That's probably the.
Don't want to
what's
spoil
that?
it. The punch. What was?
Oh yeah, I don't know if there's
that?
a punch. Maybe there's a punch in it.
Maybe there's not. Maybe there is.
You trying to ruin our movie? You trying to
sorry.
spoil the movie?
It was a really great, part of the movie, I thought. So I was like.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I do punch someone.
You did.
Maybe it's in the beginning of the movie. Maybe it's at the end. Who knows?
And I know you're probably, road tripping a lot because you're promoting the movie and everything. So what are you like on road trips? Because this whole movie is basically them road tripping to Nebraska to get his $1 million.
What am I like?
Are you the singer?
I think I'm a pretty good. I do a lot of singing. I do a lot of singing. My buddy John Solomon and I, he writes for SNL now. We took a huge road trip in 1996. We landed in Nashville and drove all over the place. We didn't come out here. Nashville was about as far west as we went up north and went through Missouri, Branson, St. Louis, into Chicago, Detroit, up into Toronto, then down the eastern seaboard. It was awesome. We kept this crazy journal. I think we wrote. It was only 2.5 weeks, but we kept a 300-page journal. We were just writing the whole time, and there are some really messed up things that we wrote in that journal.
Was it a spur of the moment kind of road trip, or were you kind of just like?
It was pretty spur of the moment.
Just kind of wanted to drive around, travel.
Oh, one of the best things is in Branson, Missouri. Do you know Tony Orlando?
I do.
You do?
Yes.
We went and saw his show, and we were in the very front row somehow. I don't know. We bought the tickets last minute. Somehow we ended up in the very front row, and we were much younger than the rest of the people at this concert. So we both were Tony Orlando fans, though. So we were singing all of his songs, and he started talking to us because he said, kept saying, "Oh, this one I wrote before you guys were even born, and just it started this banter, and before we knew it, we were kind of part of his show. Because he kept talking to us during the performance, and then he came down and took pictures with us, and at the end of the show, he gave this really inspirational speech, and it just hit us right in the heart. So at the end, we were blown away. We loved this show so much, so we wrote this huge fan letter in the parking lot, and a security guard came out because he thought that we were people who were maybe waiting for him to take him out or something. I don't know. So he came out and said, who are you creepy dudes hanging around the parking lot? And we gave him this letter, which, we were saying, I said, I'm trying to, your inspirational speech meant so much to me. I'm trying to do comedy, and my friend's trying to be a director. So we give this letter to the security guard. He gets it to Tony Orlando. We go on the rest of our trip. And when we got back home, we were really bummed out that the trip was over, and we each had in the mailbox a letter from Tony Orlando telling us how much our letter meant to him.
Wow.
And he had basically received the letter that night and sat down and wrote each of us back the moment he got the letter, because he was so moved by the letter. 15 years after that, I got to do this Adam Sandler movie called That's My Boy, and Tony Orlando was in the movie. So I brought the letter that he had sent me and all these pictures of us with him, taking pictures of him singing.
It was fate.
It was the coolest thing of all time.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So now we're buds too. Yeah, I'm buds with Tony Orlando.
Just no big deal.
That was quite a digression, and I'm sorry. Worth it?
Yes.
Maybe.
I feel like no, I like that story. Yeah. Okay. And I want to know, what would you do if you got a letter in the mail, sweepstakes, saying you won $1 million? Would you take the trip, or would
I would
you
not take the trip.
Would you not? Why not?
I'm an optimist. I still play the lottery. I mean, heck, sending in the audition tape in a way was, a foolish venture that somehow paid off. But still, those things. Don't buy them. I don't buy them.